Hey everybody, Rich Lang here, just outside the bunker in an undisclosed location in Illinois. Anyhow, I was thinking the other day about all the different videos that I have made over the last year or so, and one thing I realized is I never really have done any fire safety videos about preparing for fire, what to do in case of a fire, and I feel bad being a former public education officer with the fire department that I work for. So here's the first one. Gonna come right at you. It's short and sweet. It's gonna be really easy. As you notice, the title is How to Escape a Fire. So let's get right into it. Let's not waste any time. I've got my notes here. So anyway, we're gonna take a look at a couple different places that you might experience fire and just some really quick bullet points about how to prepare for that, how to escape the fire that could be there. To go into greater detail would take way too long. I'd have to split up this video, and this is just something to, we all have learned this stuff, but sometimes we forget about it. So without further ado, here it is, escaping a fire. Let's start with your house. When you think about your house, the things you learned about when you were a kid is that you should always have two ways to escape from any location in a room. From a room, be it your basement, your bedroom, the laundry, the living room, the dining room, the porch, for something that might happen. And it still goes today. Always have two ways to get out of your house, two forms of egress from a room. Another basic thing, smoke detector, minimum. One on every level, and possibly more if you need it. Depends on the size of your house. And if you can, have those smoke detectors all tied together. So if the smoke detector in the basement goes off and your bedroom's on the second floor, and some houses third floor, you actually hear the smoke detector going off. Now that doesn't necessarily have to be tied into an alarm company, but it's always a good idea. There's so many different ways. I mean, you can go the traditional way, like a Wells Fargo or a Brinks or an ADT. You can also go with the newer companies like Simply Safe. Simply Safe is a wireless thing where you can take it with you when you go. There's no holes in the walls or anything like that. Simply Safe, if you get a hold of this, you can just send me a check. Also, you want to make sure that you want to keep your doors closed. I know that's a lot of people leave their doors open to their bedrooms or whatever, but you should keep your doors closed. Keep the smoke out of your room. You survive a little bit longer. Got to remember, going back to the smoke detector, is that it's the smoke that kills more people, not the fire. If you have upper story rooms that you only have one egress, maybe out the door and downstairs, you ought to think about an escape ladder. Escape ladders are really nice these days. They fit really nice in a very decorative box, however you want to paint it or wallpaper it or whatever, underneath your windowsill in your bedroom. You just open the window, the box opens up, it rolls out, and you can get down. Some people also will put a ladder up on a first story roof. Being able to get down, maybe you can get off onto your garage roof, and then from your garage roof you have a ladder up there, you could just put it down, and away you go and you get away from your house. Something simple, stupid here. Keep exits and stairwells free from clutter. I don't, I know. In your back hall, you've got shoes and books and bags and boots and stuff like that. Stairwells to, the second floor, I'm sure you have laundry sitting there that you haven't taken up. Laundry going up, laundry going down. It just makes perfect sense to leave those stairways and exits free of clutter and stuff like that, because in smoky situations, in very crazy situations, you're not going to remember they're there. You might trip over them, and then the next person's going to trip over you. Flashlights. Have flashlights by your side at all times. There should be flashlights in every room in case the power goes off and you can't see where you're going. If you're remodeling or buying a new home, think about residential sprinkler systems. They're really good. Insurance companies love them. There's actually insurance companies that give deductions for residential sprinkler systems. And once you're out of the house and safe, make sure you have a meeting place. Let the family know. We're going to meet in front of the Joneses' house by the big maple tree. You want to make sure that you're out of the fireman's way, out of the police way, but you also want to be close enough that when the first arriving companies come in, a lot of times we would ask for, is there anybody from the house outside? Because that way we could find out, is anybody still inside? Everybody's out. We fight fires totally different when we know the house is empty as compared to when someone tells us that there's somebody inside. And don't worry about your pets. Please don't worry about your pets. Leave the doors open. They're going to get out without a problem. So again, one more thing about the smoke detectors. If you get them dual electric and battery, that's great. The only time that the battery is needed when the power goes off. So you're pretty much protected there. Hotels, motels, stuff like that. We talked about the hotel motel pack before. That's duct tape, a bright cloth or sheet, and flashlights. And obviously what those are for is if you're in a hotel somewhere and there is an obvious fire, the alarms are going off and there's smoke in the hallway and you can't get out, you can duct tape around your door, put a wet towel at the bottom to keep the smoke out. Then you want to go to an outside window, or if you have a balcony, you want to get out there or hang the sheet outside the window and just kind of move it back and forth when you see the firemen, just so they know you're there. If it's a balcony, close the sliders behind you. You don't want that draft happening because smoke can still get into your room. Get a room by a stairway. Be 1 or 2 rooms away from the stairway or stairwell to get out. It makes perfect sense. It's a quick and easy and get out. Pick hotels, especially in the United States, I don't think you have to worry about this, but pick hotels that are sprinkled. Make sure there's a sprinkler system. All modern day hotels and motels, they have sprinkler systems. Some of your roadside little places might not have them. Some in 3-4 bedroom, on Route 66 across, America might not be sprinkled. But think about that when you go overseas. I don't know how many hotels are sprinkled. It's just better. Modern day alarm systems don't only sound with a horn, but they also give you directions. You might hear it. We have a couple Holiday Inns in town that basically says, a fire has been detected on your floor. A fire has been detected on your floor, and then it gives you directions on what to do. You also get the same warning on the floor above and the floor below, because those are the floors that we want evacuated as firefighters. The other ones, should you get out? Yes. But are you in danger? No. The only problem with a mass evacuation is firemen are trying to get up the stairwell and everybody else is trying to get down. Again, modern day hotels, you've got cement floors and walls, you've got cement or block walls. You're pretty safe. Again, play it by ear and do what you need to do. Think about smoke, no smoke conditions, a big thing. Heat, no heat, stay or go. That's your decision. I always suggest people go. But when you are woken up by an alarm in the building and you go to your door, do not just grab the handle and exit. Take the back of your hand, touch your door handle, back of the hand. Don't grab the handle. Grab the handle like this. You're going to get burned and you'll burn everything. You can't let go. Touch it with the back of your hand. Find out if it's warm or not, because you're not going to really burn your hand that way. You will if you try to grab onto it. And the rest of the way out, when you get to the stairwell, you have an adjoining hallway, the fire doors have closed. Check that. Look through. See for smoke. Feel for heat. If it is smoky, obviously you're going to crawl low, but not all the way down to the ground. We'll talk about that later. And never, ever, ever take the elevator. If the alarm's off, or you smell smoke, or people are yelling fire, do not take the elevator. It's a great way to die. Also, the firemen are trying to take control of that elevator anyhow, and you don't want anywhere near it. Get the stairwell, get down, and get out. Wildland fires. The safest place to be in a wildland fire is the place that's already burned. You want to be in the burned area if you can get in there. If the wind shifts or whatever and you're able to make it around, obviously if you can get out of the area by whatever means of transportation you did to get there, that'd be the way to do it. But if you're on a hike and you've hiked in and the fire's coming, try to get to that already burned area. Like I said, it is the safest place. Stay upwind of the fire. You don't want to go downwind because the smoke's coming downwind, and the smoke again is what truly kills you, incapacitates you. It affects your mind, and you know that's how you're gonna die. You can't breathe. Don't go uphill. Always been told that. Don't go uphill. Fire can travel uphill a lot faster than you can travel. Travel downhill. If you are camping by water, stay by the water. And the reason for that is you can always get in the water if the fire really comes close to you. Then you also want to take like a bath towel or a blanket or a beach towel or whatever. Take it into the water with you. Pull it over your head. If the fire gets too close, you can just go down, come back up again. But that towel is there to protect your face. Plus, with firebrands blowing through, you're not going to get burned by those brands. In a boat, if the boat catches on fire, if you don't have a flotation vest on, put one on right away. You should have it. I don't care if you're a kid, an adolescent, or an adult. You should always have a vest because anything can happen. A boat can hit you. You can hit something in the water, fire. This way you can get out of the boat right away. If somebody's injured, obviously help them off the boat first. Get into the water and swim toward the bow of the boat, farthest away from where the motor is, where the fire is. That's where the gasoline is stored. That's where, if there could be an explosion, that's where the explosion is going to be from and stuff flying. You want to go to the front of the boat. Once you're in the water, you all want to stay together. It's easier for you to see, and there's a less chance of a boat coming in to help you hitting a large group instead of one or two people bobbing around. Plus, if it's cold water, you guys can all stay together and stay nice and warm. A plane. Okay, number one, if you survive the crash, which a lot of people do survive crashes and then die from the smoke afterwards, your number one enemy is smoke, then entrapment, and then finally debris, trying to get through the debris or whatever. Obviously, if you're not already freed, free yourself, then others, if you have time, and then get out of and away from the plane as fast as possible. Once you get away from the plane a little bit, kind of look around, reassess the situation. If you're okay, everything's fine, think about trying to go back, because there's going to be other people on the plane. Go back, try to save as many people as you can. Do not put yourself in harm's way. But the smoke, again, is going to be your biggest issue inside that plane. On the ground, you smell smoke, there's a motor failure or engine failure. Hopefully your crew is well versed. Depends on what airlines you take. You could be overseas with some crews that aren't as versed, or just a pilot and a co-pilot. Maybe something happened to them. They've been overcome by the smoke. Your first thing to do is assess around you, gather your family, and get to an exit. Deploy the inflatable ramps. Start helping people get off as fast as you can. If it gets to a point where it's you and your family, just go with you and your family and get off. But once you get on the ground, go to I always call it the green space, grass or whatever. That's going to be off of runways, taxiways, so you don't get run over, because maybe the tower doesn't know that your plane has a problem yet. You want to stay safe, stay in large group. Others will see you and radio for help, obviously. Vehicle fires. Stop that vehicle as fast as you first notice smoke or flames from your vehicle. Get out of your vehicle. Then help other people that need help getting out of the vehicle, and that could be your grandparents or your parents, could be your children. Get them out, get away from the car as fast as possible. I suggest not going in the center median of a 4-lane divided highway. You want to get off to the side, off to the right, as far away as you can, and you want to be not in the front or back of the vehicle, because people don't realize this, but the modern day bumpers have those 10-mile-an-hour bumpers that kind of cushion and go back out. In a fire situation, those canisters on either side can explode. Firemen have been hurt, seriously injured by flying bumpers that have gotten them in the knees or below. You want to stay away from that. And if you start hearing popping or exploding, it's normally not the car or the gasoline. It's the tires. The tires catch on fire and they burn through, and the air inside just boom, boom. It's no big deal. So stay away from the fire. Also stay away from the smoke. And do not stay in the roadway, like I said, just because of the bumpers and people may not be able to see you. Some final and last notes about fire. Stay low in the smoke, but not all the way down to the floor. All the way down to the floor, you have other types of gases that are produced in the fire. You don't want to breathe that in either because you could become unconscious. You don't want to be in the smoke, obviously, either. There's all kinds of like stuff floating around in there. So just stay, like a foot off the floor or ground and work your way through. Remember I talked before, test your door handles, make sure they're not hot. You don't want to go through a door with the door handles hot. It means the fire's on the other side. Use the back of your hand. Again, you can also take a wet cloth, a washcloth, or a hand towel, put it over your mouth to escape so you're not breathing in all the particles of combustion that would be in the hallway. And again, don't ever use an elevator. It's a sure way of getting seriously injured or killed. And that's it. Short, sweet little video about escaping fires in different places. Just some things to think about. Hopefully it piques some of your memories from when you were a kid and had firemen come to your schools and touch you different stuff. So that's it. Don't forget, we are on Facebook under PrepU. Also, please like this video. Please comment on this video if you liked it. Also, give this to all your friends. It's a pretty important video about fire safety. Have them subscribe. We always appreciate more subscribers. But for now, don't forget, be always aware of your surroundings, especially when you're out in the wild, camping or whatever. Keep your nose to the air. It's your first sense that something's up. Also be prepared to be on your own for up to 24 hours and prep like your life depends on it, because you know what? It depends on it. All right. Take care. Thank you very much. See ya.